So obviously this is a kind of sports horror movie, and I'm not sure I've ever seen one of those before. I just wondered where this kind of idea first came from. At what point did you think, okay, I think we've got something here. This could actually work.
Yeah, it was exciting and terrifying at the same time because I couldn't point to a comp really, and that meant we could create a new language in a way, or subvert expectations, and we didn't really know. That was the terrifying part. But I think once the development process started, and I could start to see the Venn diagram of sports and horror and where they're meeting and which beats were like servicing both audiences, even if they didn't know the other. Yeah, I think it was like, no, it's out there, but I thought it would work. I know that, the studio and stuff were like, is it though? Maybe we should have an audience test screening. Notice my voice goes up because, yeah, there was nothing to point to say, like, trust me, like, it's going to be like that. But it was working, and audiences were loving it, and it was a constant calibration, though, even while we were writing, shooting, and editing, where sometimes it just went slightly too unhinged one way, and then you pull it back. And so it was a lot of discovery at every step.
Yeah, I mean, the film constantly surprised me. Every time I thought it was going to be one thing, it kind of went on to be another. In terms of the writing process, did you map it all out at the very start, or were you even kind of surprising yourself as you went along?
It was kind of mapped out. At least the emotional journeys were mapped out, and how we wanted to start and end the journey with the characters, what they might want versus what they might need by the end of the story. But in the work of prep, and while we were prepping, I think we started to discover certain beats that weren't originally planned.
And I always think for kind of sportsmen, I mean the very best, the Lionel Messis, Michael Jordans, Federers, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, that kind of caliber. To be that good, you've got to be so locked in and so determined to a point where regular people like myself, it's almost hard to kind of comprehend. Having made this film and kind of had these kind of characters at the kind of very centre of the narrative, do you feel like you've gained a kind of slightly greater understanding of what it means to be the best at something in the way that these guys are?
Yes and no. I think that in the research and in the conversations and discussions with athletes and professional athletes and hearing stories, that there's definitely a dedication and consistency, and I think that's the hardest part, is that the psychology to keep going when things are falling apart. So you can understand it, but you don't really, I guess, understand until you go through it. So in a way, yeah, making this definitely pushed me through to places I hadn't, had to dig before. So I have no idea if I answered your question, but yes.
But I was going to... I was interested to hear that in a way, because I guess when a film is so much about driving yourself to the absolute limit, and I've been on film sets, and I know that film sets require so much collaboration and hard work and diligence to get this product done. Do you think having those characters and that drive from the protagonist, do you think that kind of filtered in and infected the spirit on the set? Yeah,
I do. Also, because not even our cast, in terms of proving themselves in different ways, all of our department heads, including myself, had something to prove. These were this was the biggest thing we were taking on, and we were taking on together. So there was a meta thing happening of the underdogs all trying to prove something.
And of course, being the GOAT is a big part of this movie. And obviously, the term GOAT has become such a used expression, obviously, of late, mostly in the world of sports. But who would you say is the GOAT in the world of cinema?
Ooh, a GOAT in the world of cinema. Saying Jordan Peele would be too easy. I would say Wong Kar-wai.
Nice. That's a good answer. And I think I've just got time for one more, really. But I was going to ask about, because obviously Asaya takes Cameron obviously under his wing. I'd wondered if when you kind of sort of starting out, did you have anyone really give you that kind of guidance? Obviously not to quite the degree the characters do in this, but is there anyone who kind of really helped sort of shape your career and kind of gave you that kind of push in the right direction at the very beginning of yours?
You know, it was maybe a collective from everyone I was kind of encountering on film sets. And mostly, I'd say it's just the opportunity. So people like Jordan giving me this opportunity, or Lena Waithe, or Justin Simeon, a lot of creators who had opened the door for themselves in some way, kind of opened it for me. And really, it's always about, the only thing left sacred is the integrity of the mind.
It's very actually finally before I do go, because Jordan's name has become like royalty now, particularly in the kind of horror genre. When you see his name's attached to a project, your kind of ears are kind of pricked. I mean, just how involved was he in this, and how enjoyable was that collaboration for you to work with someone who has kind of already become such a kind of figurehead of this kind of entire movement?
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse for sure, because having him in your corner and believing in you and seeing like your vision and like ending it is incredible, and it ingrains courage and confidence to try things. At the same time, he is an Academy Award-winning writer and has this universe that he's created with Monkeypaw. So there is a level of expectation, and trying to meet it is not always the best approach. So yeah, there comes pressure with being under the moniker and delivering, but thank God he's a bit of a cinephile himself and appreciates bold swings.
Yeah, well, you guys delivered. This film's great, but absolutely mental. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey!